20 years ago, after the Olympus revolution, mankind received their education in virtual reality. Students leveled up in the Olympus Academy. A little boy is seen whose name is Arthur Han Jae-hyuk, and after graduating, they get a job within the Olympus Union and earn money. This was the norm I figured I would follow, said Arthur, but problems come without warning. On a bright sunny day, an old man who Arthur addresses as his master said he has later found him. The little boy was speechless. Then the old man said he has finally found a talented child in which he can't believe it. Arthur was so confused about the talent child the old man was regarding him. But the old man told him to rejoice that he will mold him into the strongest man in this world. The old man carried him on his arm. Then Arthur thought in his mind that he was kidnapped by an old man NPC. The strange old man was the embodiment of strength and he was half forced to be his apprentice. That's how my heart, Arthur said. Arthur started his endurance training by doing horse stance for 12 hours. No painful days was his master's special health medicine. Then the hellish training began for Arthur. He was told to survive the gray hyenas as instructed by his master. The old man sat on his back when he was practicing survival training. Then Arthur asked his master and told him that the current top ranker is level 89. Talking out of breath, his master replied and asked him, Arthur, my boy, how can he call someone less than level 99 a ranker? Han Jae-hyuk, a 16-year-old boy, was trained for 10 years, but still he's officially ranked number 1. No one's above him, replied Arthur. The old man accused Arthur of being a brat for not trusting his strong master and told him not to trust what he can only see, and always tell him to remember that there are things which cannot be revealed. Arthur thought again in his mind recklessly about his master and regarded his master as a psycho spewing his bullshit again. The old man asked and assured Arthur that he should trust him and he will make him the strongest human in this world. Arthur was confused that he don't have any items to start and he's not from a wealthy family as well and asked his master if it will be possible for him to start. But his master shuned him down and told him to shut up. Level and stats are everything. This training session was sloppy. I'm adding 3 hours, you brat, said the old man. Arthur was really confused if he's to really trust the psycho man. My life was miserable each day. Regardless, many winters and many spring passed. Time flew by without rest. Eventually, 20 years passed since he started the hellish training. His master told him that he have done well until now, as he has taught him everything he needs to know that he could die without no regrets at the moment. Arthur said in his mind that his master should please and die now that the training has been really hard on him. That he was treated like a NEET in reality as he dropped down tears from his eyes. Unlimited training in Olympus. Arthur said he was just getting beaten up the whole time. That he don't know why he endured the training much when he could just delete his character. But he endured it and told his master that he was like a son to him as he were like a father, as he could endure these 20 years training. Your son is not confident living in this harsh world without his father. I still need your guidance, said Arthur with a pleased heart. That's not true, my apprentice. You are still far weaker than me, but you've grown far stronger. No, replied his master. Arthur thought in his mind that his father should give him a quest already whether he is strong or weak. Normally, this kind of NPC leaves a quest when they die. But he still insisted that his master should teach him more and give him at least one good quest before he died. Then his master said after thinking deeply that he understands him very well and he should not forget that he's his only apprentice and his sole successor. Arthur chuckled in his mind that because of that fucking successor crap, you locked me up for 20 years. After his master replied him, his master gave him a map and started a location to go there, that his future lies there. Arthur collected the map from his master and thanked him for his generous teachings that are higher than the sky and deeper than the ocean, and thanked his master with due respect. Then his master told him that the world will kneel before Arthur, that he should go and rule the world. After the candle light faded, by the time Arthur stood up, his master had already passed away. He bided his master goodbye and told him not to meet again in his next life. I left my master after 20 years of hellish training which came to an end, said Arthur. He rises up and begins his journey after his special teleportation gate, and this marks the start for a new beginning. Finally, that life of hell is over and the stat window activated. I was beaten near death several times after trying to escape, but he was thrilled to see the shiny results of the hellish training by his strong status. His stamina is 99, but his luck is negative, and I wondered why his luck is negative. But finally, his player was confirmed, and he was free of the special successor area as Lena and bid Lena off his body after 20 years of being locked as the only successor. After bidding his old life special area Lena, and wanting to move to a new life entirely, but his access was denied because he did not go through proper procedures. The system then resetted his abnormal level gain and his status and stamina by 97. But Arthur yelled at him furiously for the reduction and access denied and told him to stop as a fucking Zeus bastard. And everything about the system concerning user Arthur was resetted back to level 1. After 20 years of training, he was terrific, then later found out that what they reset for him was good. There are supposed to be penalties that come with a decrease in level. A good example is the skill which is the most basic skill, Passion Mind Techniques, which requires at least level 40 to use. Arthur thought in his mind that he can't use any of his skills, and equipping an item with level restrictions is impossible too. Arthur was concerned about those restrictions when his level 1 literally started, in which he can level up very easily. With these stats, I can farm mobs to level up quickly and invest in my stats again, so his life as a need is over, said Arthur. This is the start of my life in Olympus. Then he checked his map to know his first destination, which is a starting village for beginners, which is the true beginning of his life as a 26 years old. The system indicated that he had arrived at Urka's. It's been 20 years since he missed the plaza. He saw the street vendor and this harmonious atmosphere. I've missed it all, said Arthur. He was happy he really made it back, and he headed straight to the hunting ground. Then at Urka's west gate, he was stopped by a guard when he was about to enter through the gate and asked him of his level. Then Arthur told them he is level 1, a 26 years old Hanju Hayek. He seems like he is new here, that he was supposed to enter through the east gate, and told the guard that this is the west gate and it will be dangerous for a level 1 like him. Is this a restricted zone? Arthur asked the guard man, but the guard man told him that he strongly recommended he stay away, and that he won't even be able to catch a fanged rabbit at level 1, and it will be better for him to train at the east gate before coming to the west gate. But Arthur won't listen to the guard man and said, is it because players respawn even if they die? Then he asked a quest about Nur anxiety, that he is a guard at the west gate in Urka's village, watches the player with eyes full of doubt. He speculates that the player will die. The reward of the quest of getting rid of Nur's anxiety is 30,000 gold. What a worrywart, said Arthur, since he has already received the quest that he would like to put on a little show. He called the guardman to look over here when the fanged rabbit was about to pounce on him. The guardman yelled at Arthur that where is he even looking, that he should dodge out of the way. Immediately he raised his arm and hit the fanged rabbit. Then the system indicated to him that he has defeated a fanged rabbit. You have obtained 1 gold and as well gained experience points. The guardman was curious and asked him again if he was level 1 or not. Aren't guards supposed to be able to detect player levels? Arthur asked. But it's hard to believe that Arthur is a level 1 because of the method he uses to destroy the fanged rabbit. Arthur replied and said that's a trade secret. Not a wild boar approached him in the guard, the Westgate's troublemaker, the engaged wild boar. The guardman told Arthur to step back for the beast, but Arthur asked him not to worry, that the beast is on a different level. It's dangerous, so get behind me. Then Arthur blocked the beast and he leveled up. But the guard is pretty sure that Arthur is a new beginner, so he thought he was dreaming. So he can deny he is a new beginner. Arthur received 30,000 gold as a reward for clearing the quest, which is Nur's anxiety. Arthur money leveled up and can invest in his stats as long as his actual stats stay as level 99. It's not a pressing issue anyway, so he can just take care of it later. For now, let's head to a higher level hunting ground, said Arthur. He said, right now my life is infinitely better than it was before. After 20 years of slaving away, I was finally able to receive my reward, so he thought things would proceed smoothly from now on. A few days later, he received a notification that his killer's mark will be given and be activated as well. Over these past few days, I've been caught up in all kinds of incidents that led to a lot of misunderstanding. NPCs sprung out of nowhere to attack him and wanted to kill him as they mistook him for a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head. He thought to himself, what is wrong with the NPCs, and won't be doing it for no reason, and he can't think of anything else that'll cause it aside from that minus 99 luck stat he had. Due to my minus 99 luck, the NPCs are convinced that I'm a wanted criminal, and now they're relentlessly trying to kill me, Arthur thought to himself. A man from the NPCs tried to attack him from the back, and he used his muscle memory and ended up having to fight them so he wouldn't die. Of all the KO, it had to be the most evil one. His system notified him that he had murdered an NPC. He would then enter a max chaotic state. Arthur ended up entering the max chaotic state penalty, that a chance of dropping an item upon death increased to 1000%. He was screwed when he ended up incurring various penalties. After that, it wasn't only the NPCs, but players also started coming after him. There's only one reason the players are chasing him. One of the players that were chasing him said his friend called for support, that it's the serial killer Getrock. In accordance with the hero system, the opposite of the chaos system, you can become a hero if he kills a chaotic user. So players who want to become heroes will of course target a max chaotic person like me, said Arthur to himself. After he was chased to the wall by the players, Arthur thought that it's the dead end, so he just wanted to give up and it'd be better for him to turn himself in obediently. But immediately he turned his move and ended up killing those users as well in order for him to live. They won't find me if I go into hiding for a while, but still they made him level up. And now after 2 weeks, being a normal player sucks anyways, that he will have to hide for at least a year for the max chaotic state to be removed. And if he have to be a bad guy, might as well be a bad guy who eats and lives well, as he decided to give up on becoming a hero. Oh well, I have level 99 stats, so there's no need to worry about eating and living well. But after letting him go through extreme suffering for 20 years, but after attaining the max chaotic state for murdering one of the NPCS men, just when he thought things would take a turn for the better, I was forced into a max chaotic state against my will, said Arthur. There's gotta be some hidden scenario as Zeus, his master's intention of taking the direction. So, the next day some people kneel down and bow to him, being able to see the descendant of the absolute ruler. This old man can now for with no regrets, said one of the people, and they all hail him as they welcome the Sky Devil's absolute ruler, which is Arthur. Arthur was surprised that the hell is to return the absolute ruler, in which he must be recognized as the Sky Devil's absolute ruler. It is paramount that he will receive recognition from the 12 elders. The quest is SSS class. He asked, of all the quests that humans have seen while playing Olympus for these past 200 years, this is the highest class seen, and the number of times an SSS class quest has appeared in all these 200 years is just 3. And when each of those 3 quests were in progress, upheavals occurred in Olympus. But typically, when it comes to SSS class quests, the main scenario would at least be on a national level. The hellish training that he went through for 20 years and the max chaotic state he got as soon as he left Lena. And then, those NPCs bowing in front of him as if they'd been lying in wait. And he seems to have gotten himself caught up in a bigger story that Zeus has been preparing for 20 years, 7,000 years of chaos. When the war ended, harmony came, and the world was divided into 3 forces. The most notorious Centini had an absolute ruler, and his name was Gracia Mentor, who had 14 wives. The 7th wife gave birth to a son named Aractus, and Aractus gave birth to a certain someone in a certain province, and then that someone gave birth to someone else. After that, someone from somewhere gave birth to someone again, and that person who gave birth to their child. And Arthur was confused why the genealogy was so damn long when he was reading it from the system. And it would be rude to skip, he chuckled. And the supreme ruler of that time, Shultera, came to power. Shultera took the blood of the devil and was stronger and more cruel than anyone else, and it is said that all the heroes of the world feared him. But when the rebellion broke out, Shultera was defeated by a honey trap, but he was only maimed and did not die. After that event, Shultera lived in a cave and regained his power. So my master is a direct descendant of this Shultera, or whatever his name is, right? Arthur asked. He later asked that if he didn't get recognized as an absolute ruler, it might be a difficult position. If the situation is extreme, does it mean it will be impossible to access Cossack? Later, he was notified by the system that the special benefits are hidden and forced take command over the 12 Sky Devil Elders. The Sky Devil's command power is temporary and will be recovered at the end of the quest. The 12 will be given clan relationship status until the end of the quest. The relationship status is like a player's alter ego. Then Arthur thought of going to Seoul and asked the guys about the Devil Elders, in which the guys appreciate Arthur for recognizing them. But Arthur said he didn't recognize them through the Sky Devil or whatever, but his teacher told him to lead the Sky Devil Elders to recreate the glory of the former Sky Devil on this continent. Then he guessed that all the elders kneeling in front of me were the 7 loyal Sky Devils, and they hailed him as their leader. Then he told them to stand up and lead the way, and one of them said he had cut off the heads of the insect-like bastards surrounding them. Arthur thought it was quieter than usual. He started by checking the relationship of the player to the elder. Then he connotes the elder has now been recognized as a clan member. The experience the elders gain within a region is retroactively given to the player. Arthur was leveled to level 9 by the system, and it's a national rule that normally a person enters the academy at the age of 6-8 and reaches level 20 when they graduate at age 20. Then he thought of using his position well and started asking for the Sky Devil's name. The first leader addressed himself as Luxo and had the position of the first elder. Arthur said, there is a task that must be done, and they all agreed to follow him as their lord. Arthur said he's currently bound by a special ban by having followed his master's advice, but in this state he can't use any of his master's skills that his mind remembers but his body doesn't. He told them that he's their absolute ruler, and he promised to help him arrive at a place where the sun shines. They all hailed him and led them to the intended place. In the city, Han Xia, who is Ju Hyuk's younger sister, told his brother Han. Ju Hyuk said apparently their alliance did a good quest this time, but there seems to be a serial killer called Getrak in the outskirts of Centennia. Xia said he seems to dual-wield pistols, and he's around level 40, and she heard he can beat a 7-member party by himself. If anyone catches him, I think you can get about 3 million gold incentives, Xia told her brother. Ju Hyuk asked his sister if the reward is over 100 million, but they're giving only 3 million as incentives. But our union still gives us a lot of perks, said Xia. Ju Hyuk praised all the guys for all the hard work. Xia said if she get the incentive, BBQ is on her, and informed his brother that his eyes bags are visible a lot these days, and she thinks it's because they eat less meat these days. Ju Hyuk said to himself that it's probably because his luck is -99. The system is accessing Olympus. Then Luxo said someone is tailing them and they have not yet identified them, and asked Arthur, whom they regard as their lord, what they should do. Arthur then told the system as Lena to confirm if Sia was the one tailing them. But the system replied and said Miss Luna is on another continent, that players in other continents will not receive his message. Getrak. The wanted criminal was standing behind Arthur and told him he had found him and regarded him as impersonator bastard. He was holding 2 pistols and said a punk like Arthur is trying to impersonate him because he has guts and told him to repay his crime with his death as an insignificant thing. Arthur said it's a relief that he got his information from Sia in advance, but even if he has relatively high stats, he's level 40. What variables will result from the 30 level gaps between their items and equipment? He thought to himself that he cannot lose during the most important quest of his life, and all he needed to do is not fight alone. Arthur called Luxo and asked him where the old man came from, that he couldn't detect him, and told him to kill the old man. Still, they are just one old man and a punk, and I guess he has time to say nonsense. If he had that time, he should have attacked him first though. Arthur was so shocked that Luxo killed Getrak with just a splash of his sword and wondered if Getrak isn't estimated to be level 40. He thought to himself, if Getrak weak, or is Luxo stronger than him, because he couldn't even see Luxo's movements, and if he had his eyesight skill he could have at least read the flow of mana. And Luxo handed overhead, and he was notified by his system that he have earned experience points because he have killed an NPC with a level gap of 30 or higher at level 10 or lower. With Arthur having the head of Getrak, he was awarded 100 million gold reward. He was happy because he could achieve one of his goal by earning more gold. Arthur told the elders to listen, that he will hunt all life surrounding them without complaint. So, for the sake of his glorious return, he will follow any scenario or quest the system gives him, and he will do his best to imitate the monarch. 2 weeks later, Arthur was in level 13 already, and it's an incredible pace considering others usually take years. Heaven-breaking ghost art requires at least level 40, and at level 49 is when things will really start. Arthur thought of a company that obtains items using full swing leveling, and Skylevel Lackey that he will just start a business if he can't get a job. At Ju Hyuk's room, he was researching the best place where he can sell his items, but he can't use any of the public institutions in-game because he's max chaotic. The game currency is gold, which isn't traded in the real world. Then his little sister came by and asked her if she needed money. And what would he do with Getrak head if he gave her? Then he told his little sister Sia that if she could achieve the task she should buy a hamburger for herself and him. So they make a deal of 50-50. Sia asked his brother if he knows Getrak level because she was surprised about what he was saying. Even if he comes back from the dead, he won't be well, and she heard that he can't even go into other areas because of training or whatever. But Ju Hyuk told his sister that he left a few days ago, and honestly he has already got the bastard. Getrak's levels are estimated to be in the 40 seconds, and how would he kill him, asked Sia. Ju Hyuk replied and told her that he got him and hit him, and also his estimated level is 99. Ju Hyuk asked Sia if she forgot about the screenshot he sent to her 10 years ago. Then she checked her phone and saw the message, and then she wondered how he was struggling these days. If it's gotten so bad to the point where he's playing pranks like this, she thought further. Ju Hyuk told her that if she needs the head of Getrak, he should come to the Lenia Mountains in Centennia. Because she is level 25, she cannot go there because she doesn't have much power to do so. But because she's so chaotic, she's allowed to go. At Lenia Mountains entrance, Sia told the guard that she has business in the Lepnia Mountains, but the guard said she will be killed by a monster instantly. Sia laughed at it and said it's okay that he came back alive, and in the end she came as well. Then she entered, but the guards said they warned her not to put the blame on them if she get killed by the monster, and Sia thought to herself that she will have Ju Hyuk killed if he found out he lied to her. 3 hours later, it all seemed so quiet that Ju Hyuk said he'd get rid of all the mobs in advance. The silence is not just the monsters, but there aren't any living organisms either. Ju Hyuk scared Sia because he didn't make any sound as he approached her from behind. She was surprised about her brother's sudden energy like that of a max chaotic, and she asked him if he didn't kill an NPC. Ju Hyuk handed over the head of Getrak in a sack to Sia, and she screamed 100 million as if she was dreaming, and she doesn't believe her brother can do it. I got it, so I hurried up and exchanged it, Ju Hyuk to Sia. Sia then headed to the city, and the captain said they have confirmed the wanted criminal Getrak's head. The quest, Shoot Getrak Dead, has been cleared, so the 100 million golf bounty is paid out, as it was so real to Sia. If I take half, I can get every variety of my favorite hamburgers, said Sia to herself as she was damned happy about the money she earned. On getting home, Ju Hyuk's mother saw Ju Hyuk vomiting, and he asked her sister if he had eaten something weird in Olympus doing his training that he keeps on vomiting even at home. Sia said his brother worked so hard and gave his brother half of the money she collected. Sha gave him 99 million, but Ju Hyuk said they will both share the money 50-50. Oh, come on, if it's your first earnings after 20 years of hard work, how can I take half? But it's still 100 million, so give me 1 million as a thank you fee as little sis's pocket money, explained Sia. Ju Hyuk told him to wait, but she told him she only took the morning off, so he's going back and will come back later. and told her brother that she will treat him to hamburgers that day so that they can both eat dinner with their parents. Her brother told him to get back safely after work. Ju Hyuk thought about the exchange fee and taxes, and it's about 80 million won, and determined to try to put it all, and it will definitely be his life's quest. The SSS class quest hasn't even started yet, and he's not in a position where he has 80 million as collateral when he clears the main quest. I haven't the faintest idea what reward he will get, and he will have to reach level 40 as fast as possible and proceed with the quest. For Ju Hyuk to do that, he has to grow faster, so every minute and every second counts, so investing for the future is the answer to the cash. That evening, he told his sister to buy his items for him, but she told her brother that she just get off work and she seems tired. Ju Hyuk told him, if all goes well, I will give you 300,000 won per month as allowance, or 500,000, then they both make a deal. A few hours later, items purchased through CR equipment that increased the earning rate of experience. They both got necklace of training, ring of small growth ×2. Bracelet of one who grows ×2, earnings that yearn for experience ×2, in which all what they purchased worth 70 million won. For the first time in my life, I earn money with my own money, Ju Hyuk said happily. I don't know why you asked me to buy you all this, but if you are going to make me run errands for you, make me a warp point, Siada Ju Hyuk. Then her brother asked what she wanted in return. 3 million gold for the first destination. The 300,000 gold for each next use, said his sister, and stated all want him to pay her back. She told her brother to hide all the accessories in invisible mode. Then the system notified him that Luna had logged out. So he turned the invisible mode on and said he will make more money in future and need to do what must be done. Arthur then told all his Sky Devil elders that they should go and do first leveling, and they all agreed to do so. The next day, "Are these the Zeph Mountains?" asked Arthur as he saw a young guy, and he was warned by his system that he's a max chaotic. The other guy said it's perfect timing for him to get fame by killing Arthur, who also is in a max chaotic state. Arthur said he doesn't look weak and all his items as well are basic items, and said to himself that he died a lot while coming here. I wonder, for one, he hasn't even properly discovered where we are, said the other guy, as the Zeph Mountains. His field of vision is quite small, so he seems to be a beginner, so he told everyone in his team to prepare for battle. Arthur and his Sky Devil elders were waiting at Zeph Mountains, waiting patiently for what they would do.